to spend this money. That was my poor dad. Well, if I make more money, I'll get a pay raise next year. The government, you know, be GS 19.5. But they kept breaking the bank. Now, it has nothing to do with the dollar amount. It has to do with the habit, the way of thinking, that this is more important to me than eating. It's more important than my kids' clothes. More important than everything else is this. This is first. So start with $1. Everybody can do that. All it is 0 to go to 10. Now, at this point, people say, well, that's not that tough. Try $10 a day. Then you see some heartbeats. At that point, you're now at the boundary of what's possible for you. It's only a 0 added on to it. And you want to spend it. Now, if this becomes easy at $10, then just up it to, and you'll find your heart rate going up. So when people say, well, this is a simple exercise, I'm beyond it, then try going to, it is not the dollar amount. I mean, it's not the things, it's the habit. And you know you're a stud. This never spent. This is what your mad money is. You buy your properties in stocks and bonds, mutual funds with. You can afford to lose this if necessary, but you never lose this one. And you tithe your church or charity of your choice. Now, I give to the charity that I would like to support, but I don't have the time to support. So you put your money where your body would be. Does that make sense to you guys here? My rich dad gave it to his church. My poor dad gave nothing. He says, when I have the money, then I'll give it. That's why he was poor. The next point here is that my rich dad always believed in job security. My poor dad, job security. And my rich dad believed in financial security. So the way you get financial security is, again, via these three things. This is the basis of it. Savings, investing, tithing. So the way you get financial security is start with this, and then I start investing with this. Does that make sense? My investing account, this is when I have my fun. I play with that money. So the deal here is this, whether you're buying a business, real estate, or paper, the ratio is this. You can ask my wife the question. For every, somebody says, well, you know, I don't have any money. How do I get some money? I said, start with that, the 3 piggy banks. Or how do you find a nothing down deal? The reason they want a nothing down deal is because they got nothing to put down, right? And that's the most risky thing you should do. You can only take a nothing down deal when you have a lot of money to put down, because it's too risky. I can take a nothing down deal because I got the money to cover it in case it goes bad on me. But the point here is this, how I got my experience, how I can find a deal is this. You can ask my wife this. For every one property I buy, how many properties or businesses or stocks do I analyze? 100. That's the ratio. Before I buy one piece of property, I will analyze a minimum of 100 properties. If I don't buy one property in that 100, I start all over again. It's 100 to 1 is the ratio. That's how I find a deal. Not only that, is when I had no money, what was I doing? Still analyzing a deal. It's 100 to 1 before you can find one deal. And people come, oh, you know, I went with a ride with a realtor and we found one property and we bought it. I said, how many did you look at? Just that one. That's an idiot, not an investor. They have no clue. The way you want to find out the market trends, the ups and downs, the ins and outs, is you got to analyze 100 deals. Out of that 100 deals, you put in offers on 10. Because 90 are bad. But in the practice of analyzing the deal, you get smarter. I learn more. I learn something from each deal I look at. Of the 10 I invest in, or I put offers in, I might get 3 accepted. Now, this comes from my friend Dolph DeRoos, who's a real estate genius. He says, if this number is like 6, what does that mean? You're offering too much money. That means you're not being tight enough. You've got to screw it down a little bit more. It gets down to nobody accepting, you're too tight. So you want to keep it in this ratio. Of that, you'll buy one property. When people say, how did I get my education? I got my education evaluating deals. I estimate to this day right now, I've looked at over 50,000 deals. That's how I got smart. Instead of going to work, I look at deals. If I'm buying a business, the ratio is the same. 100, 10, 3, 1. If I'm buying a stock in a company, I've got 100 companies, same ratio. Everybody can do that. Does it cost them any money? No, not at all. It's free. When I go on vacation with my wife, Kim, she knows where I'm going to wind up. It's a real estate office or a brokerage office, because it's a habit. So this is what gave me financial security, and what my poor dad focused on was what? Job security. He had no assets when he lost his job. Okay? 30 seconds, please discuss that ratio. 50,000 properties I've looked at now. I'm going to do one last thing that, in my experience, keeps most people poor or struggling financially. So you remember the 3 piggy banks? That gives you the money. Doing this, 100 deals. The reason I don't have a job is because it interferes with looking at deals. I don't want to do that. I'm looking at a deal constantly. That's the people that work with me constantly. That's all I'm doing is tracking down deals. It's a waste of time to work. I don't get rich. So that's the thing. The second part is most people don't have the time to spend the time to get rich. They're too busy working for the money. And the third part is most people say it's risky or it's fearful or they chicken out. You know, they see a deal. Even if they see it, they back out. And I've seen so many people do it. And the reason for that is because if this is an iceberg, okay, most people, they say, I'm going to get the 3 piggy banks, I'm going to look at 100 deals, but it comes time to put the money, we call go hard on the dollar. You've got to go hard. If this is your conscious mind, let's say, this is your what? Subconscious. Money, sex, politics, religion. This thing takes over.